That far behind Tony Morris and Brian Thomas now.
Well, Steve Warner's problems seem fairly insurmountable, being pushed back behind the control tower, behind the start line, just to see whether the crew can fix it so he can run in this qualifying session. We do have another couple of qualifying sessions for these cars today. Just to remind our Pro cars, that's Top Fuel, the Procom and the Jet car, your first session is at 10 minutes past 12. Well, one or two of them down here already.
Colin Fallow's already here with the Jet car. Bjorn Dean, we saw a fine run from him yesterday.
Oh, and Lee Palander, of course.
I can see Dick Cruz with Stone's car. He's already in our fire road. So, the rest, as John says, the rest of you gentlemen, we need you down here now.
Okay, well, it's more action out here on the strip. This is qualifying. All the eliminations will be here at the pod tomorrow, Easter Monday. What we're praying for, of course, is warmer weather.
That would be very good indeed. Last year at the World Finals, of course, we had a good hot day, and we saw personal bests and records tumbling everywhere, and let's hope for that again tomorrow.
Well, I was talking about Steph Miller just now, Steve, and here she comes. She's just been popped down to the number 5 spot by that run from Mr. Brown in his dragster. But I wonder whether we'll see Steph manage to claw her way back up to the number 4 spot again. Her time yesterday, a very, very well run 10.24 with this car. This is a new car for Steph Miller this season. And that's her husband looking after her there. The crew chief is the hubby, and we were saying that yesterday, weren't we? That what a lot of stick he must get if things don't go right.
Yes, an unenviable position, I'm sure. I noticed on the top of the our crib sheet here that the car is for sale. So anybody interested in a pretty rapid slingshot rail to run a bed for 9.44, I suggest you go and have a chat with those two people.
Okay, and this is the blue movie car that we were talking about earlier on, Paul Jackson from Southend.
And I'm just suggesting to John that perhaps he would like to have a look at the mural on the back there. A very professionally facing mural. And Paul Jackson very much getting used to the car. I'm sure that's Christmas sales on Global Special. I stand to be corrected on that one, but in the meantime, Steph Miller
climbs back, look at that.
10.07, 133 miles an hour, moves her into number 4 spot.
So she's managed to get her space back in, 15.97 at 63 miles per hour for the man in the blue movies car. So he should be quite pleased with that.
Last year it really did set the ranks of cars alight. 8.49 he ran, and a very methodical approach always by this team. They finished building a car. All our racers, you were saying earlier on, have been burning the midnight oil, working very, very late and hard indeed. They finished this one, I think it was Friday. They've had the long drive up from the West Country. They managed to start it, and they want to get some runs in just to loosen the engine up. So, as we normally see with Bob Batt, just creeping up slowly on the gate lad.
And the other man in the dragster in the right-hand lane, which I think we agreed yesterday was the old Snapdragon.
Certainly is.
Chris Walsell in the low buck special. And Chevrolet power, 402 cubic inches of Chevy power in Chris Walsell's car.
The start line crew spotting something they don't like, a lot of steam or smoke or vapour coming from the car. They're shutting him off. And so that means a solo run for Bob Batt. And there we go, he's in stage waiting for the lights to go. So just literally, very,
Telling me he's run an 8 second time in the past. Well, that's quite incredible.
49 he ran in the end last year. Let's wait for his time to speed to come through. Very much a checkout pass for him. 10.13.
Well, that moves him straight into the top 8, just in front of Steve Brown with the dragster. And that knocks Ivan Birch back into the second group of 8. And it's now Ray Barrow who sits on the bump spot in that top 8 with a run of 10.47. So it's Barry Giles at 8.88, right the way down to 10.47 in that first batch of 8 for Ray Barrow at 10.47.
again is Mick White with the old timer, and I think he must be wondering what he can do to really get that car to snap and launch hard like we know it can. So still getting used to it. I'm sure that we're going to see that car going a little bit quicker when he gets that start line technique sorted out for the car. Over on the far side, Mo Blackburn with the Jigsaw 2, 351 Cleveland powered rear engine rail.
Well, indeed, Mick White started off today quite high in that top 8. He's been bashed down further and further and further, sitting in the number 7 spot at the moment, as that his qualifying time was 10.37, but he has run a 9.9 with that machine, so he really does have the capability to move up 1 or 2 places to make sure that he does stay in the top 8. That's what they're all trying to do, is get inside the prestigious top 8 for the competition cars. So Mo Blackburn, the last time I saw him, was driving a Mustang.
That was right, it was
John Lenz's old Muzzy, that's right, with paper-thin front wings. I do remember that. If you leant on the front wing, it collapsed, it was that thin. But a nicely turned out dragster now, Jigsaw 2, the original Muzzy called naturally the Jigsaw. And
that car's got a fairly interesting history, because when that one first came out, it was powered by Dragsters. A little bit better away from the start line there, and having an on-race there towards the top end. Nothing to choose between those two.
Well, yeah, you're quite right about the Dragster there, because that was built by Pat Cuss in 1978, right. So a lot of history there for that.
Right then, for Mo Blackburn, 10.18, and a 10.85 for Mick White, so no improvement for him this time.
Well, I think Mo Blackburn, it was a 10.66, Steve.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so, at 132.
Now that moves him to the number 1 spot in our second class.
Sure.
Well, a lot of our competition, a lot of our top fuel cars coming around. I can see Pele Lindelof down there, and Colin Fallows, of course. Nick Cougaran, who came down yesterday, and did a fine solid run. They're going to be there very shortly. In the meantime, Neil Ryder with the Moonshine Corvette out there on the spectator side. I would imagine he's leading the last couple of his runs. I see him there on his own.
Well, yeah, he doesn't even feature in our top 16 at the moment, and so that means that the man is getting used to the machine. Just having a quick look to see what I can see his race number. So must be my eyes again. It's the age, you know.
I think you'll find it CA1.
Well done. Thank you very much, Steve.
Let's have a look to see what history, if any, we can find on this gentleman.
Yes, well, it's called Moonshine. It's a 1972 Corvette Stingray, put together by Norman Wheeldon in 1987. Fiberglass body and a small block Chevy engine, 292 cubic inches. So there you go. And this is the man's first season with the car.
Well, he's doing very well indeed. The car very well prepared. Does look very good indeed.
Well, he ran a 15-second pass yesterday, so quite obviously looking to improve on that. A lot of potential in that machine. Spinning the wheels away from the start line there. Top end now.
Once he gets that start line there, we're going to see him right in the thick of things there. That's a good, efficient run from him.
And it is 15s again. 15.00. 7 speed, 108 miles per hour.
Well, Chris Johnson out there with the hand job. At the moment, he's pushed down a little bit. He sits down in number 5 spot, number 6 spot in our second bracket, 11.28, 118 miles an hour. So looking to possibly improve, get further up that field, could he? Sorry, in the number 4 spot. 2 Johnsons, he's always confusing people. Lee Johnson, of course, sits in the number 6 spot. Got problems at the moment, hopefully he can get that gearbox sorted out. So Chris Johnson sits in the number 4 position, looking to improve, possibly get himself into the top 8 eliminator.
Okay, just to remind all of our top fuel cars, pro comp cars, if you want to come down and have the
mile there, waiting for his time to speed. Let's say at the moment 11.12, 127 miles an hour. No improvement this time, 11.33, 136 miles an hour. That time, 10.73, 131 he ran yesterday. And he does improve. A good run for him there, 10.27.